Many years ago, in the bustling city of Enugu, there lived a young man named Obiora. He was the kind of man who made heads turn wherever he went. Tall, dark, and undeniably attractive, with carved muscles, a rich baritone, and a chiseled jawline that added to his striking presence. But Obiora wasn't just charming, he was immensely wealthy. The kind of wealth that was hard to comprehend. He owned estates across the country and drove luxury vehicles most people only saw in music videos. His garage was lined with sleek cars of various makes and models, more than some dealerships could boast. He lived in a sprawling mansion so enormous that if he chose to sleep in a different room each night, he still wouldn't cover all of them by the end of the year. Obiora was the silent type. Unlike most men his age, he wasn't interested in clubs, wild parties, or mingling with others. He preferred solitude. His mansion was surrounded by a wall as tall as an Iroko tree, and inside that vast estate, he lived alone. No friends, no family, and certainly no overnight visitors. Even his domestic staff were strictly regulated. They arrived promptly at 8 a.m. and departed by 6 p.m., sharp. None were allowed to remain past sundown. Once they left, Obiora was left alone, with his silence, his thoughts, and his deeply guarded secrets. Secrets so dark they could unnerve the bravest of men. Secrets that could send a child into seizures. Secrets locked away in a certain room of the house. A room no one had ever been permitted to enter. Despite his aloofness, Obiora was quite famous among the women in Enugu and neighboring areas. They chased after him, competed for his attention, each hoping to become his madam. But Obiora never committed. He dated a few women, yes, but never for long. You see, Obiora had a type. He sought out young girls from struggling backgrounds, from remote villages, far from the city's glitter. Girls who had nothing, no money, no voice, no suspicion. When it was time for him to marry, he didn't pick a woman from Enugu. Instead, he traveled to a distant village in Kwara State and found a quiet, respectful girl named Adama. She had just finished secondary school. Only 19 years old. She was the eldest of 5 siblings, and her parents were peasant farmers who toiled each day just to provide food. Obiora approached them and declared his intention to marry their daughter. He wasted no time in convincing them. He built them a luxurious house in the village, gave Adama's father a lucrative business, and gifted them more money than they'd ever seen. Bewildered by the generosity, they said yes, without asking too many questions. Obiora paid the bride price. Their wedding became the talk of the village. Everyone envied Adama. After the ceremony, he took her back to his city mansion and gave her a life she'd never imagined. Designer clothes, gold jewelry, a private driver, anything she asked for, she received. A few months into the marriage, Adama became pregnant. Overjoyed, she ran to tell her husband. He smiled. They celebrated the good news, both brimming with happiness. But their celebration didn't last. One night, Adama went to sleep and never woke up. Her young life, and the life within her, ended without explanation. Obiora informed her family. They wept, devastated. He, too, shed tears. Then he asked if he could bury her at the back of his mansion. The family, still in mourning, agreed. No one asked why. She was buried, or so everyone believed. Life went on. Exactly 1 year after Adama's death, Obiora set off once again in search of a bride. This time, he ventured to a small village in Benue State. There, he encountered Hale Lima, a breathtaking 19-year-old with piercing eyes, smooth dark skin, and a quiet intelligence that sparkled beneath her modest demeanor. Hale Lima was an orphan who lived with her uncle and his wife. She was determined and hard-working. After school each day, she hawked sachet water by the roadside to support the family that had taken her in. It was during one of those days on the road that Obiora saw her. She was standing beneath the harsh sun, balancing a tray of water on her head, her eyes lowered humbly. The moment he laid eyes on her, something shifted in him. Like a predator eyeing its next prey, he made up his mind instantly. He returned to the village later that week and visited her uncle, presenting gifts and bundles of cash. He promised to transform their lives, and he did. Within weeks, her uncle had a brand new house, a thriving business, and more money than he could count. All Obiora wanted in return was Halima's hand in marriage. Halima was reluctant. She had dreams of going to university, of becoming a lawyer and fighting for people like herself. But dreams don't pay tuition, and pressure from her uncle soon silenced those ambitions. Obiora vowed to send her to school. He told her she could study while married. She gave in. And just like that, they were wed. The wedding was extravagant. Guests traveled from neighboring towns to witness the village's most lavish ceremony in recent history. Gifts flowed, and food never stopped. Halima was the envy of all. Obiora brought her back to his mansion in Enugu, and her new life began. She had servants at her command, a chauffeur, designer clothing, access to the most luxurious lifestyle a girl her age could ever dream of. She was swept off her feet by her husband's attentiveness and tenderness. True to his word, he enrolled her for the university entrance exams. She gained admission to study law. Halima believed she had hit the jackpot in life. She often knelt in prayer, thanking God for such a man. Everything was perfect, until it wasn't. A few months into the marriage, Halima became pregnant. Excitement lit up her world. She shared the news with her husband, who celebrated with her. They prepared for parenthood. But then, the exact same thing that happened to Adama happened again. Halima went to sleep one night, and never woke up. Just like before, Obiora contacted her relatives. Just like before, tears flowed. He requested to bury her behind the mansion. Just like before, they agreed. And just like that, another woman was gone, and forgotten. Exactly a year after Halima's mysterious death, Obiora was on the move once again. This time, his path led him northward, to the ancient city of Kano. There, he found Zanab, a radiant young Muslim girl of 18. She was modest, graceful, and cultured, an embodiment of purity and virtue. Her skin glowed like caramel under the sun, and her voice was soft and soothing, like wind passing through silk. Zanab came from a humble background. Her parents were petty traders, known in the local market for their integrity and simplicity. She was their pride and joy, the most brilliant among their daughters. Though young, she held deep dreams of becoming a nurse someday. Obiora arrived like a king from a distant land. He came bearing golden promises, and like with the others, he didn't just speak, he acted. Within days, he transformed her family's fortune. He built a 3-bedroom bungalow for them, paid off all their debts, and gave her father capital to expand his small shop. The family was overwhelmed with gratitude. Zanab, though hesitant at first, had no say in the matter. Her parents insisted it was Allah's blessing. The engagement happened quickly. The wedding followed soon after, loud and lavish, with flowing garments and feasting that shook the village to its core. Once again, Obiora took his new bride to his mansion in Enugu. And once again, the pattern repeated itself. Zanab was pampered like royalty. Every whim was satisfied, every desire fulfilled. Obiora showered her with luxurious gifts, praised her beauty, and encouraged her to pursue her dreams. And once again, she became pregnant within a few months. And just like those before her, she died in her sleep, along with her unborn child. Without fail, Obiora wept. He contacted her family. He asked to bury her in his compound. Her family, overcome with grief, agreed. No one thought to question anything. He was a grieving husband. Or so it seemed. But Zanab was not the last. After her came Ngozi, a lively 20-year-old from Abia State, who dreamed of becoming a teacher. Then Naomi, a gentle soul from Cross River State, who wanted to open a hair salon. Each of them followed the same path: poor background, whisked away to luxury, pregnancy, then death. Within 5 years, 6 women, all young, beautiful, and pregnant, had died mysteriously in Obiora's home. And yet, no one suspected a thing. The girls' families simply mourned their losses and moved on. No police reports. No investigations. Just silence.